smaller group tonight, but thanks everybody for coming out. We are here to celebrate this quarter's class of a program called the Sekai Creator. For those of you guys that don't know, Sekai means world in Japanese, and creator, so it's the idea of creating new worlds. Basically what we're doing is we're trying to focus on Japanese college students and help them develop as international leaders. We have been running this 8-week program that does like an entrepreneurship 101 while they're here in Seattle. And so we do this basically every quarter, and what we do is we start off with a big overview of just some of the challenges Japan's facing right now. Some of the big things that the next generation needs to learn is how do we become a part of the international community, how can we create good businesses that create value for everyone, and how do we almost develop a new way of thinking from a very team-oriented kind of Japanese style to still team-oriented, but also taking more risks and finding new opportunities. So while they're here, they're students. They all did this voluntarily. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to give them some classroom training where we just give them basics from developing a product to actually selling that and marketing it, and then all the challenges of actually running something. There's actually some visa restrictions for students, so they're not allowed to work while they're here in the States. One of the challenges with that, though, is in the past we used to do business plans. There was just too big of a gap between theory and reality. And so what we did this year is we started implementing a project where we said, well, your challenge for each group is to come up with $500 in profit by whatever little businesses you start. But you don't keep any of the profits personally, so they're not in violation of any work. What they're going to do is half of their profits they would donate back to our program, so we're a nonprofit, and the other half they would choose a nonprofit that they have a passion for and donate towards them. So effectively it's a fundraiser, it's a way that they could grow and challenge, but also create a lot of value for other people. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to have these 3 groups. Each of them is going to give a 10-minute presentation. We'll have about 10 minutes for any feedback or questions, and then we'll take a little break and cycle through that for the 3 groups. We have a few special judges tonight. So we have Nathan Warwick, and Nathan is the owner of a company called Payment Gear, and also runs Ballard Labs, the place where we're at now. So thank you, Nathan, for all your hospitality. And then Brett, you want to give a brief introduction to that?
Sure. My name is Brett Schulke. I work in commercial lending, so I see lots of business plans and businesses on a daily basis and try to find money to give them. So.
Yeah. And then our third judge, Mark. And Mark, you're in the tech industry. You want to share what you do?
Yeah, I'm a graphic designer and Rails developer. I've run my own business previously, and now working as a full-time employee. It's a lot more stable. But yeah, I'll join you.
So these guys, they're going to be judging tonight's presentations. We have 2 criteria we talked about. One is just the presenting skills, so overall presentation, and the other is just kind of the judges' award.
Well, the judges were based on presentation skill and then who performed the best.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In terms of like who raised most money.
Yeah. So the actual presentation, then we give a bonus. So for each of those, we're giving we give a $100 check to the nonprofit they had partnered with. So it's just kind of a bonus. And let's see, anything I missed out?
Have they already done the money making part of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they did this for the last 8 weeks. It was a challenge, really effectively. They had about 6 weeks. We said, you have 6 weeks to do whatever you can as foreigners, in Seattle, to make as much profit as you can. And so we get to hear their stories today of what they did. Okay. So here's our first group, Taichi's, and I'll hand it over to them.
Hello everyone. Our business program name is Taichi's, and we're going to introduce ourselves very shortly.
My name is Taichi. I'm a leader and I'm in charge of marketing.
This is Chisato. I'm in charge of advertisement and marketing.
My name is Saki, so I'm in charge of NPO and exhibition.
I'm Lisa. I'm a chef and I'm in charge of accounting.
And this is today's our presentation's content story, which is the problem we find in Seattle and the solution, and summary of the resort, business strategies and lessons. And firstly, I want to ask some questions to you guys. And have you tried Japanese food in Seattle before? Okay, and Do you think is it the real traditional food?
Probably not.
Okay.
Depends
Yeah.
where you go.
Firstly, the problem we find in Seattle is that Americanized Japanese food is recognized as the real traditional food. For example, the California roll. It is good, but it is not Japanese food. We would say that it's a new style of American food. And secondly, we have a lot of Japanese restaurants in Washington State. Actually, it's 475 restaurants in Washington State, but it's mainstream and majority is usually sushi or teriyaki and a chain store. And few of them is just a tradition. And third, because of that, the image of Japanese food is sushi. So we wanted to change people's mind to the Japanese food is more healthier, much healthier and beautifuler, more beautiful and more delicious. Okay, two, the solution is as a solution, we decided to promote Japanese food to local people, and especially we choose the Okinawa and Tohoku region. And Tohoku is this part and Okinawa is this part. The reason why we chose the Tohoku and Okinawa are because the Tohoku region had a big disaster and it was 3.11. It was so close recently, and we'd like you to remember the disaster and Okinawa is our leader, the Taichi's hometown, and he knows Okinawa a lot, and he is so passionate to promote his hometown's food. And our mission is to provide traditional Japanese food, and vision is populate them.
Okay, so this is the result of our project. We held 4 events, and we got 65 participants in total, and 5 people came twice. And 1 guy came 3 times. He really liked our food and project. And the revenue is $910, and ingredients cost about $242. So our profit is $667. And this donation will eventually go to NPO called Japanese Culinary Academy, which promotes global understanding of Japanese food. For now, I would like to explain how we run business. Since the concept of our event is related to Japanese food and also donation, we focus on those targets: locals who like Japanese food, locals who want to support fundraiser, and students. The reason why we focus students is because we are students, and we expected that it would be easier for us to sales pitch to students. So our products are 5 types of Okinawa food, like this, and also 5 Tohoku food. Our idea is to provide one of the 5 meals from one of the regions in each event. So first event, we actually provided Tohoku food. Second event, Okinawa. Third, Tohoku. And fourth event, we provided both. We not only served food, but also we show some exhibitions regarding these 2 regions, such as culture, history, and also NPO. And we also made small presentation to explain the detail of food we serve, and also introduce the Japanese traditional clothing, like this, fancy. Yes, these are added values to our events. So finding venues was not so easy for us. We held 4 events in Capitol Hill, Bellevue, Lake City, and Issaquah. And since demand is partly driven by demographic, our business location was determined in these cities, these areas. And Capitol Hill and Bellevue have large school density, so our target was students. And also Bellevue and Issaquah have high income level. our target was locals who want to support fundraising, wealthy people. And promotion was the most difficult task. And yes, we used two strategies for promotion, such as advertising media and sales pitching. We distributed flyers in schools and outside town and sent so many messages through Facebook. However, there were fewer than 10 people who knew this event from this advertisement. And even announcing at churches, only 5 people showed up. And we visited 4 different colleges and invited more than 100 students. But only 33 students came to our event. And only one person came from sales pitching in 2 neighborhoods. I went to an apartment, knock knock, 80 to 100 houses. Only one person came to the event, which was, but at the same time I realized how difficult it is to invite people to get involved in this business. And the price was determined based on the cost of ingredients, which we estimated $50 per event, and appropriate price for dinner, and the number of people who come to our event, which we estimated 50 people. However, after the first and second event, we found that the profit that we are supposed to make was far from our reach, which was $250. This is because we actually spent extra on serving, well, test making, and also serving sample food during midterm presentation, Sekai Creator. So after that, after the second event, we changed strategy. Because we had some network connection with people who could be host, we asked them to be host and invite their friends or neighbors. And also we decided to raise money and reduce the high cost food. This table shows the profit and loss statement. So even though the third event and fourth event had more participants than previous event, we successfully reduced the cost of ingredients. This eventually leads the high profit. So as you can see, after we changed strategy, the second event, our profit significantly went up. And also, in fourth event, our profit rate is over 90%. This is also because we have 21 participants who are mainly adults, so we charge extra. And we reduced some food that costs a lot. But we serve enough food to eat because we researched a lot of supermarkets that sell cheap ingredients, and also we got some food donation.
Can you, Taichi, actually, can you go back and tell
Yes.
us what some of those numbers were?
Oh yes. This is the number of participants.
But can you
First-
actually tell, because we can't see from back here?
Oh yes. Yeah, the participant first event we had 12 people. Second event 19, third event 13, and fourth event 21 people. So, and then the revenue is, yeah, as you can see, significantly increasing. The first event was only 120, but fourth event was 330. Can you see?
And what about cost of profit?
Oh, what's the profit? First event, our profit was $90, 90.71. And second event, the profit was 151. And then third event was 231. And fourth event, last event was 300 profit. Yeah. So the rate is also increasing a lot. And yeah, we spent lots of money on test making. That we made this Okinawa and Tohoku food before we starting to do this project, which cost almost $80. Yeah, and also we cooked sample food during midterm presentation. That cost $25.
After these activities, the Sekai Creators activities, we learned these two lessons. One, responsibility, and two, group work. I'd like to talk about group work first. Because we are group, we have different person who have the different strengths and weakness. So it was pretty hard to mix together to do the same work. But also because we are our group, we can cover each other. And this is really important, and it was so effective to fix our problem that we had during the Sekai Creators, because I'm not good at talking to people and to stranger people, but the Saki and other people is very good at talking so friendly, and such a thing is really makes our business activities level up. I think so. It is important. The responsibility. We have two events that the starting time was a little bit late because our participation was a little bit slower. But still, we have such a problem. But we can manage the time a little bit. Finish. We could manage the time a little bit shorter, and we are responsible. We could be responsible. And the next step to develop our business plan is target our target market and promote more variety of food, because target was a little bit too large, so we asked the people to come in the downtown Bellevue. It was too general, and just 33 people was coming. So we're gonna connect to some Japanese community who are interested in Japanese culture, food, and it's gonna be more effective. And promote more variety of food. The last business event, we provided to both Okinawa and Tohoku food in the same time, and it was the highest profit we got in the business event. So if we increase the number of the kind of Japanese traditional food, it's gonna be more effective, we thought. Yeah, thank you for listening our presentation, and thank you for your support.
Comments, feedback, anything regarding to our presentation?
So which of your three target demographics that you went after was most successful? Because it sounds like the one that you're targeting now, the Japanese community, wasn't originally listed. What did you see, and what made you think that that might be a better choice?
First, we were targets the real local people, like the real strangers. But for next step, we changed the target to someone who are interested in Japanese people. And if the number of the people who are interested in Japanese people increase, it's gonna be easier. It's gonna be easier to popularize the Japanese food. Our goal.
One thing we learned through this project is we should research more the market segmentation, because we didn't research enough. So that's why we kind of have difficulty finding those targets. So if we keep doing this project, we will research more market segmentation. Where do those people live, or how many Japanese restaurants located, or the demographic, or geographically. This is something we should have researched more. Yes.
The
when you went door to door. Can you
Yeah.
explain how did that work? I mean, I've
Oh,
never heard of that before.
Well, our target was the students. So, and usually, there's apartment, the community, not the apartment.
Dorm
Dorm.
for
dorm
students?
Neighbors near the college.
Oh,
So I thought maybe lots of students live there.
oh,
So I went there and, well, actually two apartments, two neighborhoods, and just knocked door, and I just, sales pitched whole neighborhood, more than 100, maybe 1,000. But it was just, I realized, how hard it is to invite or just, give them the impression of our project. Almost none of them was interested in our project. Maybe because I couldn't just approach enough.
well, is that what you would do if you were doing this project in Japan? Would you do it the same way and expect?
In Japan,
Yeah, is that what people do if they have a new?
I would not do. If we were here, I would not do anymore. But instead of doing this knock knock, I would more focus on targets, like market, because our target was kind of vague and to general public. That's why it took us a long time to invite people. And also in Japan, people are not so indifferent to donation, so it makes more difficult to do approach this project, donation, the fundraising project. So I wouldn't do, and this is just, it was just too hard for me. It was raining, I would, and even though they said, oh no, I tried to approach this
Right.
project, but only one guy. And he was my friend. That was so tough. Yes.
You said that the last event you did a combination of the two
Yes.
different food types, and
Yes.
that was your best event.
Yes.
Do you think that, did people coming to that event know that there would be the combination of the two types, and that made them want to go more, or did they just come and then they found? I want to know if knowing that caused people to want to come even more, the variety.
We already promoted that we're gonna provide two kinds of two legends of the Japanese food
Yeah.
at the time. Since our event, we didn't promote that we didn't promote the two, just one. But the last is a two,
Yeah.
and more people are coming.
Yeah. So when you talked to people about it, did they get excited about the fact that there was a variety? Like, did they actually respond to that?
Few people responded.
Okay.
Was the previous event. Actually, the reason why we decided to provide two meals is because, first we had food donation, extra food, and also we wanted to invite those who already joined this event again to more give the interesting to this event. So that's why we provide two meals. And yeah.
So I see your profit margins out there. Typical business would run between 20 to 25% in terms of profit margin. You guys are running at 75% profit
Yes.
margin, even on your lowest one. So fantastic job on that. One of the largest expenses I would expect to see is like a facility expense. How did you guys manage to work with them? Where did you hold the events at?
Actually, we visited so many facilities to borrow us the venue, but every facility charged a lot. So we decided to hold this event like house.
Okay.
Our house one time Capitol Hill, my house, Bellevue, and Dixie, our house. And also, we found this person who provided us the house. So actually, we didn't pay anything for the venue.
Great job.
Yeah, we just try not to pay extra money, but we want to more focus on food quality. But that actually took us a very long time to find venues. Yes.
All right, great job. You guys did a great job. Super good. So what we're gonna do, we're just take a quick